Alright, so this video is the notes part of Pythagorean theorem, and you may have seen the Pythagorean theorem before. It's a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, I use Pythagorean theorem when I'm doing distance problems, like if I wanted to find the distance between this point and this point on the coordinate plane. I like to use Pythagorean theorem. So you've probably seen this being used already. But in this video, I'm going to explain kind of what the Pythagorean theorem is, and I'm going to talk about how to not only solve for C, which is what we do for distance, but how to solve for A or B if we're missing one of the sides of the triangle. All right, so first things first, Pythagorean theorem only works for right triangles. So if you do not have a right angle right here, you cannot use Pythagorean theorem to solve for a missing side. But what Pythagorean theorem allows you to do is that if you know two sides of a right triangle, any two sides, you can solve for the missing side using this formula. Now, this picture is a little weird, but I've always really liked this picture because what this picture shows is what it means by squaring these things. So this triangle on this side is 1, 2, 3. And 3 squared is 9. All right, let's switch colors. On this side of the triangle, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 squared, there's a 4 here that's been squared out, is 16. All right, and then the last side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 squared, which is 5 times 5, is 25. And so a squared plus b squared, the 9 plus the 16, equals 25. And so they're just showing you that pictorially. They're showing you that a squared plus b squared is going to equal c squared. Now, when you're solving this for c squared, you just add these two numbers together, and then you take the square root, because that's how you get rid of the squared. When you're solving for a or b, you kind of have to work it like an equation. Like if I had that a is 5, and I didn't know what the other leg was, but I knew c was 12. You have to solve this sort of like an equation. So you first start by squaring everything you know. 5 squared is 25. I don't know what b is, so I'm just going to write b squared. And 12 squared is 144. And then you're just solving a two-step equation. So you subtract 25 from both sides. You get b squared is equal to, I don't know what this is, 144 minus 25 is 119. All right, but I don't want to know what b squared is. I want to know b. So you have to take the square root. And when you take the square root of 119, you get that b is about 10.9. So, a couple things that I want you to keep in mind when you're looking at Pythagorean theorem problems. The first is that the hypotenuse is always the longest side. So it has to be the biggest number every single time. The other is that your two legs, it doesn't matter whether you plug them in for A and B or B and A. Like I could do 3 squared plus 4 squared, or I could do 4 squared plus 3 squared. It means the same thing. The only one that matters that you put it in the right place is C, which is the longest side.